Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Sunday. Um, this morning I did a shadow work meditation, and very significant downloads came to me, and then I think it may resonate with quite a few of you because I think I've been stuck in this. And I don't know, as someone who I'm actively seeking personal growth, personal development. And also, I guess I thought I was going in the right direction. It felt like I was going in the right direction. But I had a shift in perspective today. After the meditation I had, I'll try and give you guys examples to help you understand what I'm trying to put across. But I think, as we go through life, we think about different times or different stages in our lives. If you get deep about it, you may also think about the trauma that you've been through and like how did you get there? What happened while you were in there? How did you get out? How do you recover from that? And I think quite a few of us are in that cycle, or at least trying to figure out that dynamic. And for me, I've had very distinct periods in my life, especially with different aspects of my life, with personal, with work, with friendships. So, and it's when you for example, let's use work for example, right? Let's say you were in a work situation that you really enjoyed, and for some reason or another, you had to leave. Maybe there were layoffs, maybe the team expanded or contracted or whatever the case may be, and so now you could no longer be in that situation. And then also in other parts of your career, let's say you've had worse situations or bad situations, and you've managed to get yourself out of that, and you've sought better environments for yourself. In those kind of situations, you may think, and especially because there's this lady on LinkedIn, can't remember her name, beautiful black lady. It's just talking about you need to find the place where you're who you are, where you can be who you are. And if the place that you're in doesn't allow you to be who you are, then you need to change the place and not change yourself. And I think that's huge, in any situation, relationships, work or whatnot. But it's it was a LinkedIn interview, so obviously a work situation. So I'll use it in that example. But I think in situations like those, then you're stuck on changing the way you are so that you can be who you are in that space, right? But I don't think we take the time, or we may not be taking the necessary time to make sure that the who we are finding a space for is the who that we actually want to be. And maybe sometimes it is. Maybe it's implied in the way that we're looking. Maybe okay, I like this type of work environment, so I want to make sure that I find something like that. When I'm interviewing, I want to make sure that I ask these questions, that I know that that's the sort of environment that they foster. People who look for psychological safety and that kind of stuff. I think everyone should look for psychological safety. But yeah, so you may think, okay, I need to make sure this environment is conducive to me, right? But in the meditation that I had this morning, I had such a strange question come to me. It was, am I looking to replicate the environment that I was in? And this environment can be the work, the relationship, the friendship group, right? Am I looking to replicate the environment I'm in or the environment that I really enjoyed in the past, or that I have an example of that I really thrived in, am I looking to replicate that environment because I like that environment? Or am I looking to replicate that environment because I liked the person I showed up as in that environment? And if the latter is the case, then what you really are looking to do is to get back to that person you were in that environment that you loved, that showed up in the most confident way that you've seen yourself, that showed up in the most bubbliest, or in the most social, or in the most or looked the most competent, like, whatever the case may be, or felt the most loved. So it's like we put it on the place where it's actually, no, I want to replicate that person, or I want to go back to that person. And now thinking about it in that way, it sort of like frees you up, right? Because I've had conversations with coaches before, and like one of the biggest lessons I've learned from them is you really, like, first and foremost, you really need to like isolate what do you have control over and what don't you have control over, and then free yourself from worrying about the things that you don't have control over. And there's so many things that we think we have control over, but we don't. And once you isolate those things and you free yourself from those burdens, you can focus on what you do have control over. And even in a situation where you are looking for an environment to bring out that part of you that you love, that shine, if you're looking for that end result through looking for an environment that looked like the one before, you're still putting yourself in a situation that you can't control. But if rather you work on being that person, regardless of the situation that you're in, then that's more achievable. That's definitely more achievable. So if I use myself as an example, if I enjoyed an environment that made me more youthful, it made me joke, I felt comfortable to like sing songs with my colleagues, or I felt comfortable to dance with my significant other, I'm now going to cultivate the confidence within myself to be able to dance with whoever's around me. I'm going to cultivate the confidence within myself to feel comfortable and feel free enough to express myself creatively, such as singing songs or whatever the case may be in a certain environment. So I think like that's definitely going to be the focus going forward. Like isolating what did I really enjoy about myself in this situation that I'm seeking, and rather seek to become that person rather than seek an external, out of my control situation that I'm hoping will bring out that person again. Yeah. So I guess, like off of all of this, I'm going to be doing a shadow work challenge for the rest of the year. Including today, it's going to be, we have 10 days until the 31st of December, or including the 31st of December. So I want to do like a shadow work journal prompt every day. I'm going to try to push myself to do 2, but at the very least I want to do 1 a day. Just to, like really shake up those deep-seated, bottom-feeding thoughts, and like really bring them to light, and integrate them if needed, correct them if needed, or amplify them, if I'm in a space where like that's really going to benefit me. So if you want to join this challenge, I highly suggest it. I would say don't push yourself too hard. Like shadow work is difficult. Like you really do go into traumas and stuff. So if you need to do like one shadow work prompt every 2 days, every 3 days, there's absolutely no shame in that. If you want to push yourself, I'd say like, make sure you're taking care of yourself in that process. I would suggest ChatGPT for shadow work prompts. I'll also add some to the description of this video. But yeah, also I would suggest like if you have identified certain things about yourself that you really see reoccurring and you wanna like get that stuff in the bud, then I would say like in your prompt for ChatGPT, make sure to put like, let's say for example, codependency, people pleasing, people pleasing, external validation. Ask ChatGPT like, okay, give me 15 prompts on this, and this. 15 shadow work prompts on this, and this, to help me unpack. Oh, I don't even know. But you could elaborate to say, to help me unpack these themes, with the goal of healing, integration, and I don't know, and something else. Like, be creative with that. I'll put some ideas for some prompts in the description as well. But yeah, I think like just in general, I already know it's gonna be like, it's gonna be a big year. Every year is a big year, but it's like, I think especially because of where I'm meeting this year and where I'm at the start of the new year, where it looks like I'm at, everything can happen in the next 2 days. 2025 is gonna be like a big year. It's gonna be a year where I really have a feeling that internal work is gonna really put you ahead. Self-discovery, personal mastery is really gonna put you ahead, only because there's gonna be a lot of external factors changing around us. If you follow astrology, or if you know like what's happening in the sky, a lot of big planets are changing signs. That tends to have generational or at least societal impacts. But then also there's the personal impacts that you may find with with your own individual lives, your own individual charts and whatnot. But that's if you choose to follow the experimental astrology. But yeah, there's gonna be, I foresee more, if not the same amount of things in life that we cannot control. And like 2024 has been a hectic year. I think the past half decade has been hectic. And we've been very much exposed to things that we have no control of, that we've never seen before, and that's not stopping. So to be put in a position, or to at least put myself in a position where I am comfortable with the things I cannot control, and I am controlling and working towards and bettering the things that I can, I really think that's gonna like help me get through, and possibly accelerate where I am working. So if you guys want to join me on this challenge, I highly recommend it. I hope this video was helpful to anyone out there. If it was, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel.